Hello, everyone. Welcome to this 20-minute restorative yoga practice for deep stress relief. If you are someone who likes music with your practice, I did make a Spotify playlist to go with this practice, so you can click the link in the description. All you'll need for this practice is a bolster or maybe a couple of pillows from your bed or your couch. That will work just fine. So we're going to begin in an easy seated position. So just coming into this comfortable position, elevating your hips, softening the shoulders, closing the eyes if that feels good to you. And just begin by taking a few deep, easy breaths. Just inhaling through the nose and exhale, sigh it out and release through the mouth. Go ahead and do this a few more times. And every time you exhale, let yourself just release something that you've been holding on to from the day. Maybe it's physical tension from sitting at your desk. Maybe it's some kind of emotional thing we're holding on to, or a thought that keeps repeating in our minds. You can just release that, settling into your natural breath pattern here. Smooth, effortless breath. Just allowing yourself to be in the here and in the now as you breathe and take a few moments of stillness. And when you're ready, we're going to move into our first restorative position. So you can take that bolster, you can keep it where it is, just slide it towards the back of the mat. And then you're going to sit with your low back up against that bolster, laying yourself back. You can open up the arms. You could touch the soles of the feet and open the knees if that feels good to you. Moving into this supported, reclined, bound angle position. And take a moment to do any little wiggles or adjustments. Remembering that restorative yoga is all about being comfortable and giving the body the space to rest and restore. And once you've settled in, let your awareness fall on your belly. As feeling the gentle rise and fall of the belly as you breathe in and as you breathe out. When you breathe in, the belly rises as the breath moves in and flows through your body. And then as you exhale, the breath and tension are released and the belly naturally falls. Just allowing your awareness here to stay with the gentle rise and fall of the belly with each breath in and each breath out. Completely effortless. Just following the breath as the inhale turns into the exhale and the exhale begins another inhale. Following that tide of breath with the gentle and effortless rise and fall of the belly with each inhale and each exhale. And maybe notice how as you breathe, every time you exhale, you can soften and melt into the props just a little bit more. Feeling that gentle hug of gravity above you, opening the heart and opening the hips as you breathe. And if the mind wanders during this pose or any pose, that's okay. Just gently guide yourself back to the breath and the belly. And from here, we'll release out of this pose just by bringing the knees together. You can roll over to one side or sit yourself up. And we're transitioning right into a twist. So you'll just turn so your right hip is now against the bottom of that bolster. You can take your legs out to the side. And you just turn your chest towards the bolster, laying yourself down into a twist. Try your best not to overthink it. Make those little micro movements and adjustments that you need. And then keeping the awareness on the belly, just as you did before. But this time noticing how as you inhale and exhale, you still have that effortless rise and fall of the belly. But in the twist, there's now this added element of this internal massage, this internal churning. Almost as if you're gently wringing yourself out and releasing from the day. Just keeping your awareness on that rise and fall of the belly. Letting yourself sink and melt into the bolster or pillows. And just let it all go here. Now from here, all you'll do is just press yourself up. You're just going to turn to the other side. So opposite hip will go up to the bolster. You'll turn your heart towards the bolster or pillows and lie yourself down on a twist on the other side. Just taking some time here, settling in, knowing that we are not perfectly symmetrical beings. So it's okay if one side feels a little bit different than the other. And then once you've settled in, keep that awareness on the belly. Feeling that gentle rise and fall, that effortless tide of inhales and exhales at the navel. Just noticing how you can feel that internal massage and churning, wringing yourself out from the day. Feeling that supportive hug from gravity. And notice how with every exhale you can release just a tiny bit more, softening just a little bit more, and releasing just a bit more on that exhale. And then from here, all you'll do is just press yourself up, releasing out of the twist, but taking your time. There's no rush. You're going to take a moment, just letting the dust settle before we move into our next restorative pose. From here, all you'll do, we're going to move into a forward fold next. So you'll just turn to face your bolster and then rotate your bolster so it's going the short way on the mat and put it underneath your knees. You can take those legs as wide as you want so that you can create space for your torso in between. Then you'll just curl and round the spine, folding forward, coming into this nice supportive forward fold. If you want to add a block or something under your forehead, you absolutely can. But once you've settled in, keep your awareness on your breath, but now feel it move into your back. Feeling how the back gently expands on the inhale. Now it softly just releases and let goes of areas of tension on the exhale. Feel that effortless expansion and softening of the back with every inhale and every exhale. And as you do this, feel the weight of the world literally slide off of your back. All of those things that you've been carrying around, you've been lugging around and holding on to. In your mind's eye, just see them sliding off of your back as you breathe, letting them just spill on the floor where the universe will take care of it for you. Just focusing on effortless inhales, easy exhales. Just allowing yourself to melt into this pose, this fold. Just letting everything go as you just breathe and be, as you're held by the props beneath you and cocooned by that hug of gravity above you. Knowing that if any time the mind wanders, just recognize that you're distracted and gently guide yourself back, returning to the breath and returning to this pose. Just taking a few more moments here, really allowing yourself to melt into this pose and slow down. And when you're ready on your next inhale, you'll just slowly roll yourself up out of that fold. Taking your time, there's no rush. We're going to move into our last restorative pose before we take Shavasana. It's going to be legs up the wall. So the easiest way to get here is to just lay on your back and then take that bolster and slide it underneath your hips and then bring the legs up towards the sky. When you get there, you can point and flex the feet a few times or circle out the ankles. You may feel a little bit of a cooling sensation or tingling in the legs. That's okay. What we're doing here is we're stimulating the lymphatic system to help with inflammation of the legs and to work with that healthy blood return, especially if you're doing this at the end of the day. The legs may be tired and need a little TLC, and this is a great way to give them that. So as you settle into this position, keep your awareness on your breath still. But this time when you inhale, feel the breath move in through the nose and go all the way up to the toes. And then when you exhale, feel the breath cascade back down the body from the toes and back out of the mouth. Feel that breath just begin to dance up and down the body. On the inhale, it moves in through the nose, goes all the way up towards the toes, and on the exhale, the breath falls and cascades back down your body. As you just let everything slow down as you breathe in this position. And now to release out of this pose and just transition into Shavasana. It's very, very easy. You'll just hug the knees in towards the chest, maybe taking a moment to pause there. And then when you're ready to transition into Shavasana, you'll take the feet onto the mat, and you can slide the bolster from underneath the hips to underneath the knees. And this will bring you right into Shavasana, our final pose. And just do any last little adjustments that you need. And keeping your awareness with your breath still just for a few more minutes. But this time, follow the pathway that the breath takes. So on the inhale, feel that cool air move in through your nostrils, down the throat to your lungs. And then on the exhale, feel that breath reverse itself as it moves out from the lungs, up the throat, and out the nose. Follow this pathway of breath as it dances in and out of your body. Just allowing yourself to be still and quiet. And just letting everything go. Feeling your body sink and melt into the ground. Knowing that there is nothing that you need to do. There is nowhere you need to be. Except for right here in this moment, breathing and being. And giving yourself the gift of some quiet time to rest and restore. Now begin to slowly reawaken just by deepening your breath. Maybe wiggling your fingers and your toes. Or if it feels good to you, you could do any other movement or find a full body stretch. And from here, you'll just bend the knees, rolling over to one side for a moment, before eventually pressing yourself up to seated. Bringing your hands to your heart and keeping the eyes closed if you'd like. And just closing your practice by saying something kind to yourself. And thank you so much for joining me today for this practice.